local breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 6.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer is extending her order requiring you to wear masks while in a grocery store or pharmacy. Today, the governor signed a new executive order extending the face covering requirement to May 29th. Under the order, customers who can medically tolerate a covering must wear one when going into a grocery store or a pharmacy. Grocery stores and pharmacies would also have to set aside at least 2 hours a week for vulnerable populations to shop. The new order comes as 851 more people test positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Here's a look at the latest numbers from the state of Michigan. There are now more than 43,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 154 new deaths, bringing the death toll up to 4,020. So far, more than 15,000 people have recovered from COVID-19. Kent County continues to have the highest number of cases in West Michigan, with more than 1,600 people testing positive there. Kalamazoo County has 442 cases. Not pictured here, Berrien County with 294 cases and Cass County with 33. Dentists are among those struggling under Michigan's stay-home order. They say business has seriously declined. They also say they're worried they might not have the supplies when they're able to reopen. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo joins us now live to explain their plea to Governor Whitmer.
This week, the Michigan Dental Association sent a letter to Governor Whitmer asking that an equitable proportion of N95 masks provided to the state by FEMA be sent to dentist offices. Under her executive order, dentists are only allowed to provide emergency services until at least May 28th. Michigan Dental Association President Dr. Margaret Gingrich says it's up to individual dentists to determine what qualifies as an emergency. She says a swollen face, severe toothache, or a painful broken tooth generally fit the bill. Now, Gingrich says the MDA is working to separate dental offices from that emergency declaration that limits them, leaving the choice up to dentists on when and how to safely reopen. Gingrich says an allotment of N95 masks from the state would help in that mission, especially after dentists rallied to donate their PPE when frontline workers needed them.
We have requested that since we gave in their time of need, that they consider us and give us part of the PPE back that we need so we can open up and resume treatment of patients as well.
Gingrich says many offices are taking precautions for the emergency appointments that they are taking, like taking patients' temperatures and having them fill out a questionnaire. Gingrich says under the current restrictions, many dental offices are down to just 5 or 10% of their usual business. Of course, that's forced them to either lay off or furlough workers. Reporting live from home, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Genevieve. Well, during the coronavirus pandemic, many people are turning to the 211 hotline for help finding food, shelter, or financial assistance. 211 is a helpline connecting callers to resources in their community. Organizers say calls to the United Way's hotline have doubled here in West Michigan. In COVID-19 hotspots like Detroit, calls have quadrupled. Now, during the COVID-19 outbreak, United Way Director of Program and Services, Sherry Vanaspich, says the biggest need callers are seeking is food assistance. She says they've been connecting people to local food banks.
It's even more complicated because, everybody's trying to offer their services in different ways. The hours have changed, the application process have changed.
Vanaspich says the most challenging need to fill at this time is personal care items like cleaning products, toilet paper, and soap. She says that's because many of these items are sold out across Michigan. The State Department of Health and Human Services is investigating the death of a 16-year-old boy. It happened at Lakeside Academy, a Kalamazoo rehabilitation center for teenagers. Police say the boy died from cardiac arrest after being restrained by a staff member for throwing a sandwich. As News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik tells us, this isn't the first time the facility has been investigated for wrongdoing.
Police and state child welfare officials are trying to get to the bottom of what happened to this 16-year-old boy. We're now learning that multiple employees have been fired in the past here at the academy after investigations revealed those employees inappropriately restrained teenagers. An investigation is underway into how a 16-year-old boy in the custody of the state of Michigan died as a result of treatment from a staff member at Lakeside Academy.
Everyone is stunned, so saddened by this.
The boy, who's not being identified, was one of 125 foster children enrolled at Lakeside. In a statement, the Academy says, quote, "This incident does not reflect our mission to serve and care for our clients with excellence. We are committed to making the necessary changes to ensure something like this does not happen again." Lakeside Board President Jeff Palmer says the all-boys facility houses and provides education for teens from Michigan and across the nation.
Again, the boys who come to us have experienced a lot of trauma. They've been abused and neglected. They have serious trust issues with adults.
News Channel 3 has uncovered close to a dozen Department of Health and Human Services investigations related to complaints of abuse and inappropriate restraining of Lakeside residents in the past 2 years. In January, a staff member was fired for slapping, choking, and scratching one resident. In another case, a staff member punched a resident in the face. In 2019, DHHS mandated Lakeside staff be retrained on how to apply proper restraint.
Staff members are always taught, always trained to try to de-escalate every situation. Don't let it escalate to the point of needing physical restraint.
As the fallout continues, now the Oregon Department of Child Welfare announcing it's removing 2 of its children from Lakeside, and it will no longer use the facility as a placement option. Mike Krafsick, News Channel 3.
All right, looking live now over downtown Kalamazoo through our Peregrine Tower camera. It was absolutely beautiful today, and it is still beautiful out there. Meteorologist Will Haney joins us now live from his home. Will, we hit 70s today, and you're saying tomorrow will be warm too.
Yeah, Callie, we could make a run at 70 degrees again tomorrow. Won't be quite as warm as those middle to upper 70s some of you saw out there today and are still seeing in many locations. And yeah, we've been seeing folks strolling the beach here on South Haven's camera, and a lot of fishing boats going out throughout the day as well. High temperature 75 in Kalamazoo. This is the 4th 70-degree day we've seen so far in 2020, where typically we would have picked up about a dozen or a few more than a dozen by this point. You can see 78, the warm spot there in Three Rivers. Our temperatures now have cooled about 3 to 4 degrees since where we were at just a few hours ago. And as far as satellite and radar, we do have some high-level clouds streaming through, but it's sort of the cloud cover that filters sunshine. There is one batch of some showers that you're going to see here on live Doppler radar trying to work its way into parts of Berrien, Van Buren, and Cass counties right now. I'm not even convinced that that's necessarily reaching the ground much, aside from just a few sprinkles. So actually, with the mid to high level cloud cover out there, it could be a pretty nice sunset if you're willing to venture out, maybe park along the lakeshore. Should be some nice views. It's also going to be a picture perfect evening, in my opinion, for a bonfire. 66 by around 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Also looking pretty stellar. We'll talk about when much cooler temperatures return, though, in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Will. Well, as dozens of states begin to allow businesses to at least partially reopen, there's no green light in New York. That state saw a setback in the daily death toll. Michael George has more from New York.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis stopped into this hair salon in Orlando on Saturday.
If you have something like these personal services, what's the risk level? And is there a way we can lower the risk level?
On the governor's orders, restaurants and stores in all but 3 of the most populous counties will be allowed to operate at limited capacity starting Monday. Warm spring weather drew countless New Yorkers to the city parks, where face masks were handed out. Governor Cuomo says the virus killed 299 people in the state on Friday, the first uptick in weeks.
We're still getting about 900 new infections every day walking into the hospital. We're trying to understand exactly why that is.
But in a sign of hope, on Monday, Mount Sinai Hospital will stop admitting new patients to the Samaritan's Purse Field Hospital in Central Park. Mount Sinai says COVID-19 hospital admissions are now reaching manageable levels. As Muslims around the world observe Ramadan, those closest to one of the hardest hit parts of New York City are grieving.
I am just 1,000 feet away from El Marst Hospital. So we have lost a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters in my community, especially from that I know a lot of them.
And over the nation's capital, Navy and Air Force Blue Angels and Thunderbirds showed thanks to medical and other essential workers on the front lines. Michael George, CBS News.
A West Michigan family says plans for their mother's memorial service had to be put on hold due to the coronavirus outbreak. The family came up with a unique way to honor their loved one. Mary Beth Peters worked at the West Michigan Cancer Center for over 25 years. She became a patient when she was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. Mary Beth passed away unexpectedly in March. Her daughter, Leanne Peters, wanted to give back to the West Michigan Cancer Center workers, who she says are like family. She partnered with Burger Bros in Kalamazoo, buying 175 meals to donate to them. Burger Bros matched her donation, giving an additional 175 meals to healthcare workers fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Leanne says food was a big part of their family, and this is her way of honoring her mother until they can have a proper memorial celebration.
I kind of wanted to keep her memory alive and have people to be able to celebrate her, you know, even when she's not necessarily on their minds that day. I want everybody to be able to get the closure that they need because she was a really special person.
Burger Bros even created a burger in honor of Mary Beth. It's called the Sweet MB, and it's topped with sweet pickles, which was her favorite. For every Sweet MB burger purchased, one will be donated to an essential worker. The CDC added 6 new symptoms for COVID-19 this week. Why doctors say more people getting treated for the disease is helping them find even more symptoms to look out for.
Procedures canceled. Staff late.
Medical experts say the more COVID-19 patients they treat, the more they learn about the symptoms and what the virus can do. Erica Glover is with our Nashville, Tennessee sister station. She shares one social worker's cautionary COVID-19 experience.
28-year-old Ailey Green is a Vanderbilt social worker who took safety precautions to protect herself from COVID-19.
I work at the hospital, but I work at the psychiatric hospital. So I'm not necessarily around patients that are testing positive that we know of.
But around April 2nd, she began experiencing irregular sleep patterns and developed this skin rash.
They were like little bumps on one of my legs. I only had it on one. I didn't change detergent. I wasn't wearing new clothes. I never have skin problems.
Well, rashes are really pretty unusual associated with COVID, but they've been reported.
Vanderbilt infectious disease specialist Dr. William Schaffner says the list of symptoms associated with COVID-19 is likely to expand.
For example, in older persons who may not have fever, they can just present with confusion or some personality changes.
Which is why the CDC added 6 new symptoms to their list of what positive COVID-19 patients may experience. It now includes repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and new loss of taste or smell.
Younger people seem to be getting COVID toes, little redness on the tops of their toes, not so much blisters. We don't exactly know what causes that yet.
I had no cough, I had no fever, I had no shortness of breath.
Green wants you to understand the warning signs could vary.
And I want people to know that it can look really different, and you can be spreading it without really thinking that you have it.
Urging others not to dismiss strange symptoms.
Many businesses have no choice but to lay off employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. One local company is investing in its employees, though. Box Water is Better is based in Holland. Rob Keenan is the chief marketing officer. He says, like most businesses, it's slowed down. He says the sustainable water company isn't furloughing any of its 50 to 100 employees, though.
What we've done is we've invested in training. So we're all taking more training on sustainability, on salesmanship, on marketing, so that when we come out of this tunnel, we're going to be even stronger than ever.
Keenan says employees are also actively working on their 1 million tree celebration. It will be held virtually on May 15th on the Box Water is Better Instagram account. It will also be a kickoff for their new goal. That's to plant 2 million trees. Will, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's a pretty cool company if you've never heard of them. Local company in our area. Right now, Long Lake in Berea County showing some mid to high level clouds kind of working their way through. And those are the same clouds that could provide some nice color as the sun goes down here in just a couple hours. So if you're out and about and you see some gorgeous sunrise or sunset rather, worked the morning shift today. snap a pic and send it our way. We're seeing temperatures right now in the lower 70s, 70 right now in Allegan, 73 right now in Kalamazoo, and 73 as well in Three Rivers and the Lakeshore, even not too bad at the upper 60s. Here's your clouds and radar across the region. You can see a very weak disturbance kind of sliding through right now. It's an area of some showers that we're tracking here on live Doppler radar as we look here. It's right now in portions of Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren counties. This is basically likely just a little bit of some drizzle working its way through, say, like Dowagiac right now or out towards Lawrence. This is going to be very quick moving, so if you do see any sprinkles, they're in and out probably within about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's if that precipitation is even reaching the ground. Most of our cloud bases right now are above 10 to 15,000 feet, so sometimes you can have that precip evaporating on its way down. So your evening, really, really gorgeous. I talked about it earlier. Great night for like a bonfire, something like that. By 9 p.m., temperatures lower to mid 60s will stay, I think, mostly clear. The cloud cover that you're seeing right there is in the high levels of the atmosphere. As far as tomorrow morning, though, we definitely clear out. Lows right around 50 degrees for early Sunday. By lunchtime tomorrow, another gorgeous day. You know, if you thought today was just even a smidge warm, maybe if you're a little bit, if you think today was warm, tomorrow will be even a little bit more comfortable, but it will be more breezy by around 7 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to start to track a cold front working its way through. More on that here in just a second. 73 right now in Kalamazoo. Let's check out our live eye camera if we can. And you should see some upper level clouds out there just sort of filtering the sun. The winds out of the west-northwest at about 14 miles per hour. So overnight tonight, we fall to about 49 degrees. That is a little bit cooler than we were last night. And if that's not too cool, you could maybe even crack open those windows tonight. 70 the high tomorrow, even a little bit more comfortable, but again, a lot more noticeably breezy. Our next more substantial chance for rain holds off until Monday into Tuesday, but it's really pretty light. And even the latest model data kind of indicating a lower potential for rain, and that would be Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. The bigger story this week is colder air, and I really want to highlight late in the week a shot of cold that's actually stemming from the North Pole, if you can believe that. And by next weekend, we're going to be talking much chillier temperatures. There could be a day where we struggle to make it even out of the 40s. And I also want to mention, if you have maybe planting concerns, by next weekend, some patchy frost or even a freeze not out of the question. And the Climate Prediction Center echoes this with their outlook through the middle of the month, with cooler than normal conditions expected to dominate our pattern for much of the northeastern United States, including the Great Lakes. So your Maple Auto Group 7-day forecast showing again a great day to take advantage of tomorrow, because those 50s are back and they're here to stay, it looks like, Callie, for much of the week.
Wow, just when I thought we were finally in warmth. All right, thanks, Will. Well, majority of our team is working from home, never coming into the television station. Under Michigan's extended stay-home order, our team is deemed essential workers. We take our duty to supply important information to keep you and your family safe very seriously. Some of us are still coming to work and will still be on the streets gathering news. We are taking every precaution to practice social distancing, and we hope you'll join us. Making sure local businesses are being supported during a pandemic. How one Facebook group is looking to give restaurants in Kalamazoo a boost.
Volunteering to get the coronavirus.
The Kalamazoo menu continues working to help local restaurants impacted by COVID-19. The Kalamazoo menu Facebook page was created in mid-March. The purpose is to help the eateries with advertising, marketing, and planning. The page started off with only a few thousand people, then it blew up to over 30,000 currently on it. The creators of the page say it's grown to be a close community between everyone involved, who all share their food, news, and positivity.
I thought I'd help a handful of our friends who own restaurants, and it has turned into best night in 53 years of sales. It's turned into, oh my gosh, we're hiring new people. It's turned into, oh my goodness, we are actually opening up a new location in the middle of this.
This whole thing has been our life turned upside down. So this has been a really bright spot and also challenging, right? Like, we want everyone to be happy.
And if you're not on it, it is great. It will make you hungry, let me tell you. Now, the two say they focus on the positivity, and they say it drives them to create more ideas, including expanding outside of Kalamazoo.
You don't want to come in the big crowds? They're not here.
Last week, Governor Gretchen Whitmer opened some low-risk sectors of the economy. One garden center in West Michigan is opening its doors this weekend with less visitors. Belvedere Tulip Gardens in Holland saw low numbers today. The shoe and Delaware factory remain closed. A donation of any kind is recommended to get into the gardens with multiple restrictions and low numbers due to no festival. The president says it just isn't the same.
You look at how many man hours and how much love goes into putting this all together, not just here at Valdere's, but in the city and the region. And then for it all to be thrown away, basically, it's heartbreaking to not know what tomorrow is, to not know what to do next.
If you want to take a look at the tulips, Belvedere suggests coming during the week when it's not as busy. For a list of restrictions and directions to the gardens, just head to our website, wwmt.com, where you can download our free mobile app. Well, slow and steady wins the race. That'll definitely be the case at Churchill Downs tonight for the 2020 Kentucky Turtle Derby, also known as the slowest 8 minutes in sports. The 146th Kentucky Derby was supposed to be at Churchill Downs today, but it's been postponed. Old Forester Bourbon is hosting the event, and you can watch it on its YouTube channel at 7. 8 turtles with names like Seattle Slow and Green Mamba will start in the center of the circle. The first to cross the outer ring wins.
I said it on the morning show this morning, all my money is on Green Mamba. I'm just saying. All right, so tomorrow, more sunshine, 70 degrees, another gorgeous afternoon. It'll be more breezy. And then after that, a cold front knocks us back into the 50s, and we're pretty much locked in with those cooler temperatures for the week ahead.
All right, well, I don't think I would choose a turtle with the name Slow in its name. We'll see you back here at 11 on News Channel 3.